Hello and welcome to Business Reporter's The Future of Retail campaign. Now, if retailers could ask just one question about their future right now, it's likely to be, is there a remedy for supply chain uncertainty? The pressure of the pandemic on businesses has become almost unbearable. Some supply chains that stretch from China to Europe have seen inflation of 200%. Uncertainty, slower trade, and the lower purchasing power of societies struggling with unemployment and massive healthcare expenses, we're told, have given birth to a new reality. But have they really? The pandemic is a fresh challenge, but trade wars, natural disasters, climate change, and deteriorating international relations have burdened supply chains before COVID-19 appeared. And there will be new challenges after 2020. Is the pandemic just one part of a sequence of uncertainty? And if so, how do we tackle this? To find some answers, we've invited Michael Kreft from Advantech to talk to us. I'd like to start off by asking whether the pandemic is only part of the same uncertainty sequence or an isolated game changer.
I wouldn't say it's an isolated game changer. It just puts the spotlight on some of our key challenges in global commerce and supply chain, like freight cost, inventory control, visibility, manpower management.
What's the rule to the uncertainty sequence? I mean, how would you name the root of the problem that had been hurting the industry even before the pandemic and that has been our recent most painful disease?
It's, as I mentioned, make really the entire inventory supply chain visible, transparent. So it's a challenge, but the good news is we have the technologies, we have the tools to make this happen.
So tell us how Advantech can help.
Yeah, so our task is to really help the retailer, or it could be any other company, to get the needed data, and get it from the edge to the cloud, to make it there with the right platform, which we also provide, manageable, and then in the end, evaluable. Because it's about getting the data, getting insights out of it, and trigger the right action. How do we do this? We do this by providing an entire end-to-end supply chain offering, which includes, for example, smart data sensor and collection devices. It also includes devices to cloud services. And last but not least, we also provide remote management systems for sensors, devices, and data, which in the end brings the insights, make it visible via dashboards so that the decision makers can trigger the right action.
Could you give us some examples of the technology that you implement?
Yeah, so let's assume we are working for a food retailer in Thailand, and we are the operations manager who has to provide every single morning the vegetables to the 200 convenience stores around Bangkok area. So as you can imagine, to ensure the quality of the food, so I have to ensure as operations manager to keep the food from the entire journey from the warehouse to the fridge in the store at a continuous same low temperature. So to make this happen, so we as Advantech together with our partners, we provide the sensors which are really on the entire cold chain control the temperature and other data. So no matter in the warehouse, the truck, the fridge, or on the way to it. So we provide the gateways to send this data, no matter where, in which area of Bangkok the truck actually is, back to the cloud. We provide the platform so that the operation manager can remotely manage the sensors, devices, but also can analyze the data. And in the end, he gets the needed information to take the right actions. A co-creation partner of us puts on top an AI-based predictive maintenance software, so which also helps the manager to avoid any kind of downtime. Yeah, so no matter if it's in the warehouse, if it's in the truck, or if it's the fridge. So because this would cause a huge problem for him, but he now knows in advance where to take action.
Now, these technologies need to be compatible with other existing devices. So how do you work together with other technology providers?
With tech leaders like Intel or Microsoft, we have strategic alliances to get all the new technologies and developments also built in our future offerings. Why is this important and beneficial for the customer? Because it's future-proof, it's replicable, and it's standardized so that he can deploy it on a global base. Regarding the vertical experts like software vendors, system integrators, these companies we invite to collaborate with us to really create common, standardized, domain-focused, vertical, specialized solutions, because there are always different challenges in different verticals.
Now, your proposition sounds straightforward, but let's be honest, Advantech wasn't born yesterday. You and your competitors' solutions have been around for some time. Also, you mentioned that the pandemic is an accelerator of old problems. So I'm guessing the provocative question here is, why have retailers waited so long? Why have they not deployed these technologies earlier?
So I think that's one of the major reasons. If you now look in the current challenges and the future ones, it's really more about customer centricity and about digital value chain management. We need to collect all kind of data around the customer journey regarding products, regarding customers, regarding locations, you can name it, and making meaningful informations out of it, address this to the decision makers and trigger the right actions.
Now, let's say that in a year or so the pandemic's over. What do you think the supply chains will look like then?
First of all, Alistair, I think it will be named digital value chain management then, and not supply chain management anymore. We have everything to make it predictive, to make it customer centric, and to make it sustainable, so means environmental friendly. The technologies is there, the companies who could help, like Advantech, are there, so we can enable this, but it's a call for action for the retailer to really take this seriously, because this is not only helping to manage the current challenges, but also gives huge opportunities. In regards of efficiency, if I know what the customer really wants upfront, so I can avoid a lot of costs. I can predict a lot of things. So why don't we just take the opportunity, use the technology that is there, and go for the next level? And then I think it could be a really nice journey.
Well, there are tremendous changes taking place in the supply chain. So Michael Kreft from Advantech, thank you very much indeed for the interview.
It was a pleasure. Thanks.